This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki, the universal energy life force, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready Set Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than a host, as I too am traveling, learning, and supporting others on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy Seawright. And today, what an honor it is to have this wonderful person here. Her name is Lorina Christine. Now, she is a manifestation and mindset coach dedicated to supporting ambitious female leaders to manifest their biggest desires, break through mental barriers, and up-level their lives to achieve more wealth, love, joy, freedom, and success. She has been featured in such publications as Soul and Spirit magazine. Now, she is dedicated to supporting high-achieving women in areas of personal development, mindset mastery, lifestyle design, manifestation, and overall holistic well-being to guide them to step into their limitless potential while experiencing more fulfillment and abundance in all areas of life. She truly believes you can have it all. Her mission is to empower women, connect with their purpose, step into their worth, and show women that it is truly possible that they can live life on their terms and manifest their biggest dreams. She teaches her private clients how to unblock their limiting beliefs, cultivate positive relationships with themselves and others, build inner worth and focus, creating their most aligned life full of purpose, passion, joy, success, and abundance in all areas of their life without burnout. She is also the host of Unleash Your Radiance podcasts, a space empowering women to embody their highest selves, speak their truth, and unleash their radiance within to step into a life that truly lights their soul on fire. She shares valuable insights on manifestation, mindset, entrepreneurship, and well-being, featuring interviews with inspiring thought leaders. Welcome, Lorena, to Ready, Set, Reiki.
Wow, Tracy, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited. That was such a beautiful intro. I feel so honored to be here with you today.
All right, well, let's begin our journey together. So I gave our listeners just a little bit about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I feel like you covered so much in that intro there. But yeah, my name's Lorena. I'm originally from Canada. I'm living in the UK for the past 5 years. Love travel. It's a big part of my lifestyle as well. Also, why I really wanted to start my own business and inspire others to live a life that they truly love as well. Because I used to be in the corporate world, the 9 to 5 space, living a life that just really didn't feel aligned. It felt like it was someone else's life essentially. And yeah, travel and that freedom has always been a really important value to me. So that's a big part of my life. I actually just came back from Bali, which was really amazing. It was nice to have spent that 2 months there. And yeah, I've got into this line of work because, like I said, I've gone through my own journey, which I'm sure we'll dive into throughout the podcast. And it was really around self-worth was always a big one for me. And through my own journey of healing and personal development, I've been fallen into the manifestation and the mindset and the personal development, and really was so inspired to help other women because I just saw how powerful it was. And I never wanted another woman to feel the way that I felt at certain times in my life.
I love it. It's just wonderful
Mm.
to empower others. And the way of
Yeah.
empowering others is to, help shift that energy, right? So when
Mhm.
did this art of manifestation come into your life?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So long ago. Okay. I think the very first time it came in, I think I was maybe about 18 and my mom had the book, The Secret. And I remember
Mm.
being like, this sounds interesting, but also very far-fetched. Um, and I remember reading little bits of it, but didn't think too much of it. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds cool. Like think positive thoughts and it will happen. But it wasn't until a few years later where I came across Gabby Bernstein. I'm sure a lot of your listeners are familiar with Gabby. She's like the sort of like the gateway, I feel like sometimes into manifestation, personal development. And yeah, I remember reading her book, Spirit Junkie, and it just really resonated with me. And I was so interested in this concept of manifestation. And that was sort of really that gateway into the personal development world. And that's kind of where it started. And I was really manifesting some incredible things in my life throughout that year. So I would say that was when I was about, yeah, 25. So I don't want to age myself here, but we're going back about 13 years now. So, yeah. And, but I was always really missing a key part of manifestation because a lot of the New Age spirituality, including books like The Secret, really talk about just think positive thoughts, like align your energy. And they miss a key point that we really manifest from our beliefs and what we feel worthy of having. And being someone who struggled with self-worth, that was a really big block that I've had to work to overcome. I was manifesting things, but I wasn't really getting the bigger manifestations coming through. And I was really blocked in a lot of areas. And the truth was, I didn't feel deserving of having them. So that's really been a key component into the work that I do. Because when I was able to really dive deeper, that's when I started manifesting really incredible things. It really took that to a whole new level as well.
Mm-hmm. So, when did you discover your own soul purpose? Was there a radical shift that happened that maybe was the catalyst for your redirection?
Yes, definitely. So my journey's been non-linear, as most of ours are. I had God, I would call it like a near nervous breakdown in
Mm,
2016. I was saying I was working in the 9 to 5 corporate world, which absolutely nothing wrong with that if that's what people want to do. I'm not shaming that in any way, but it was just the job that I was doing and the lifestyle I was living was just so out of alignment for me. And I felt like I was climbing the corporate ladder, trying to do everything right. I was living in Toronto. I call it like the Sex and the City Canadian version. On the outside, everything looked great. And I just was so unhappy on the inside. And I was striving for this role in events planning. And I was working really crazy hours, like sometimes 15-hour days. And I just remember at the time the promotion I was going for got taken away. It was budget cuts and my role actually got demoted. And I just
mm,
felt so lost. I kind of hit a wall and I just think I just was so burnt out and I just felt like I had a breakdown. I was like, something needs to change. This is it. I was so unhappy. So basically, I decided I was 30 at the time, and it was the last year that I could go to Australia on the working holiday visa. And I thought, you know what, now it's now or never. Like, I'm going to miss this opportunity. And I gave my job a 3 month notice. I walked in, I quit. I booked a one-way ticket to Australia. And that was really the catalyst of living life for myself, deciding, you know what, I'm going to stop with the people pleasing, stop living for someone else's vision. What do I want? It was really that wake up call. And ever since then, I've never looked back. And that was like the start of the traveling and the living abroad. And that really started my personal development journey even more, manifesting even more. And that was sort of the start of that journey to getting me where I am today.
yeah, you were unleashing your radiance. That's how it began.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you're out helping, empowering women for their highest self. As you've gone through and you've been navigating, what is a common misconception about a manifestation and mindset coach?
Yeah. So, like I was saying, I think the big misconception a lot of people miss is that we really manifest from what we feel worthy of having and calling into our life and our beliefs, right? So our subconscious mind is running on autopilot and that is, very much shaped from the ages of 0 to 7. And we might not consciously realize, but our actions, how we show up, the stories we're telling ourselves are all based on our subconscious beliefs. So if those are not in alignment with what it is you're looking to manifest, this next level of life, right? Because we're often manifesting something that feels really maybe far away. It's exciting. It's something bigger than we're currently living. But if we haven't, worked to condition ourselves to manifest it, to hold it, to call it in, then it's going to be blocked. So that's really where I think, especially I work a lot with female entrepreneurs. And a lot of entrepreneurs are so focused on the business strategy. They're so focused on, what's the next strategy? What's the next strategy? Where like mindset is your strategy, right? Mindset as well as energy work, like priming your energy for showing up, leaning into abundance, what's available to you, moving away from lack, like all of these things really are 80% of the strategy, right? The other 20% of the actual business strategy is what's going to help you. But that's really a misconception. A lot of people don't prioritize the mindset work as much, but it all coincides together, right? It's like this beautiful concoction of like the energy, the embodiment, the mindset, the action, in that sense as well.
Beautiful. So, as you were out helping others, coaching entrepreneurs with all of their challenges along their health healing journey. What has been a challenge or rather struggle you have faced in your own healing journey?
Yeah, like I was saying, my biggest one has definitely been around self-worth. I grew up with a narcissistic step parent for a very big part of my life. Kind of classic. My parents divorced when I was young, didn't have kind of the father figure around, and then insert narcissistic stepfather. And that really, really played a huge impact. If listeners are familiar with narcissists, they can really, really deplete your self-worth, make you feel like you're not good enough. And that really led into how I showed up in my adult years as well, people pleasing, seeking external validation. And that majorly showed up a lot in career, but also in entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is like one of the biggest healing journeys you will go on. I feel like you're faced with every single limiting belief, rejection. You're showing yourself to the world, you're fully being seen, you're being vulnerable. So all of these things come up, and that's why the healing and doing the inner work is so important for success in entrepreneurship. And for me, that was something I really had to work through, was really seeking that validation through myself, through my own worth. And because of that journey, that's really where so much of my passion lies, in helping women do that. Because as women as well, we're taught not to be too much, not to be too seen, don't speak your truth so much. And that really holds us in the people please and all these things, where I was just so fed up with it. And through that led me to like an eating disorder as well when I was in my early 20s, and this control, and overcoming that really was the catalyst for wanting to help women in this capacity. It used to actually be, I wanted to be a health coach like years ago, but it sort of transitioned into like this mindset, life coach, lifestyle design, manifestation, well-being, like really this mixing it all together. So like I said, a lot of women don't feel worthy of having their desire, whether that's money. If you're manifesting money, there's a lot of blocks around that, feeling guilty about that, shame around that, feel deserving of the love they want, right? Having this like incredible loving relationship, especially if they maybe never had the, seeing that it was possible or available for them. And really the success, like really helping women just claim what they want, step fully into it. Because I truly believe as well, especially in the world we're living in, the more conscious, incredibly talented women, the more success they have, the more money they have, the more good they can do in the world as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as you're on this journey for yourself, you've detoured into different paths and you're continuing on the journey. When you stand back and you look at your life, what is one thing you wish your younger self knew about manifesting and unleashing your radiance?
Yeah, that it's safe to do so. Like that it's okay, because I think there's just this wall that can be up sometimes around the safety of like, yes, I can have it. It's okay for me to have it, right? And that would be it. It's like it's okay to step beyond that line, and there's safety in that, because that's where you're shining, and really giving them permission that it's okay and that they don't need to be scared or worry about failure or success. Like that's, if it feels good, if you can envision it, if you can dream it, it's because it's meant for you.
Beautiful. Now, when it's time for you to get like an energetic tune-up or to work with the spiritual coach or coach, what are some qualities that you look for in that spiritual healer or coach?
Yeah, definitely if they're embodied in the work that they do, that is most important. And if they're living the life that I am looking to strive to achieve, if someone's like constantly hustling and they're just behind their computer all the time, not having a quality of life, I don't want that. Like I want someone who is like really lit up, passionate about what they did, fulfilled. And connection, that's always a big one as well, right? They don't necessarily need to be like maybe have made the most amount of money in their business, but like if the connection's there and they're really good and passionate and driven with their work, then that's going to be the biggest one. And yeah, when it comes to energy, I think like values being connected as well. I've worked with a few different energy coaches before. I have had Reiki done myself. I've had really incredible, actually a friend of mine, she did a shamanic drumming session, Reiki mixed together around opening up more into my feminine as well, because I was very, very closed off in my masculine energy. My heart was very closed. So that was a very, really beautiful experience as well.
Wonderful. So what advice would you give someone who is just entering this profession of manifestation with coaching?
Yeah. So, sorry, do you mean someone who's like just starting on their manifestation journey or someone who's starting as a manifestation coach?
I would say you can actually do both. So, one who
Okay.
is a coach, what advice would you give someone who's listening to this and saying, "Yes, this is who I am. I want to help, support ambitious female leaders to manifest their desires." So, what is some advice would you give someone?
Yeah, I would say like just go for it because I think so often all these limiting beliefs of why it's not going to work out or I'm not good enough or imposter syndrome or I don't know enough. That's a big one around like newbie coaches as well. It's just trusting that like you are on the right path and just go for it. Show up, with because when you have that passion and that drive, that's really where your story is going to resonate with others. And one thing I always say to people, it was something I heard a long time ago, and I can't remember who said it, otherwise I would give them that credit. But it was by you not sharing your story, you're actually being selfish because there are people out there are clients out there who need to hear your story, who need your services because you can help change their life. And by you feeling like you're scared or not good enough, to show up, like you're really holding that back. And is that something you want to be doing? Because if you're in service, absolutely no, right? So when you reframe that, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, it takes away that charge of like that, oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me? Or do I know enough? And yeah, it's just, and always remembering like when you're helping someone, like you really only need to be one step ahead of where they are now. Like if you've gotten the result and you know how to get that person from A to B, then that's your client. And as you grow, you'll grow and you'll start working with different clients in different areas potentially, but like just start.
Very good. Now, for someone advice who's just starting spiritual work or manifestation, what advice would you give them to step into their worth?
Yeah, definitely like being easy with yourself because I think, a lot of spirituality, the way it's portrayed, it's all this like light all the time, but like it is dark at times. Like I know,
Mhm.
going through the dark night of the soul, for instance, and like when that goes through, like I personally, I quit drinking over a year ago, but when I first started doing my sober curious journey, all the resistance came up. There was so much that I had been bearing down and hiding, and I went through so much darkness and shadows and inner work, but there was so much light on the other side. And if you are going through that, it can feel lonely, it can feel scary, it can feel daunting, and like you sort of question your existence and everything about you, right? But it's like trusting that process and that it will come out on the other side and being kind with yourself, showing yourself compassion, and really just following your heart and find community. Like, don't completely go alone. I think I hit a little too long during part of my journey. And, I think we need connection and community as well. Yeah. So with finding your worth, it's really like set those standards for yourself. Like, what do you want from your life? What do you want from your relationships? Getting super clear on what it is you want, looking at where you're not in alignment with that now, where your beliefs out of alignment, how do you view yourself? What do you feel worthy of already having? How can you bridge that gap? So that's going to be like starting to build self-trust, showing up for yourself, setting high standards for yourself, right? And sticking to them and setting high standards for the people you're welcoming in your life as well. And yeah, really getting clarity on what that vision is.
Yeah, and it's really, in a sense, shifting the energy, so to speak, because that's where
Yeah.
your focus is. Where your focus is, where attention is, that's where the energy goes. And just shifting things in a way where you have a clearer path, a clearer vision, and changing that mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Energy flows where attention goes, right?
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what books do you recommend? Maybe there's been books along your journey that have inspired you, or books that you recommend to your clients.
Yeah, I would say one book that I'm actually reading again right now, I absolutely love. It's Secrets of a Millionaire Mindset. It's such an amazing book because it really does help. A lot of people struggle with money mindset, especially if they're trying to manifest more financial abundance. And money is also very much linked with like self-worth
Mhm.
and also love as well. So again, it's going to that worth. So yeah, Secrets of a Millionaire Mindset is really about adopting an abundant, wealthy mindset. So that is an excellent book to read. I highly recommend. I always love Spirit Junkie. That was one of my first intro books. So it's really great. I love Gabby Bernstein. Her books are incredible. And another one I really love is it's Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo. That's a great book as well, especially for like that new entrepreneurship journey. And it's really just getting to the mindset that like So many things happen, hiccups happen, challenges happen, but you can figure it out. So it's really from that growth mindset approach as well.
Right, right. And it's interesting, with the foundation of Reiki is it's all about your intention. Whether
Mm,
the hand placements, whether remember to thank or do this or that, it's really about the intention. So with the manifesting as well, it's your intention, right? It's the
yeah,
mindset.
exactly.
It's being open, right? It's about
Hmm.
surrendering at times.
Definitely.
So, what other services do you offer? Do you offer classes, trainings, events?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I do quite a bit. I do a lot of online master classes. I've got some paid workshops that you can do on well as well that are digital products and courses. I also offer a mindset, it's my signature mindset and manifestation program, which is an 8-week journey called Elevation. And it's really about that whole holistic journey from clarity on your vision, mindset, overcoming your limiting beliefs, working with your energy, embodying that version of you so you can really start to achieve your goals. So it's not just a manifestation course, it goes quite a bit deeper into that as well. And yeah, I also have that as the self-led version. So if someone is maybe not, up for like doing a group live session, the timing's not right, the investment's not right, there's also a self-led version of that as well. And yeah, I do one-to-one coaching and host retreats as well, which is really incredible.
Beautiful. So, where can someone find you if they want to reach out and schedule, a session with you or reach out to one of your programs?
Yeah, amazing. I tend to spend a lot of time on Instagram. That's where you'll find me the most. It's at Lorina.Christine. I can drop that for you in the show notes as well. And yeah, you can find me on my podcast as well, the Unleash Your Radiance podcast. That's really where I also spend a lot of my other time. Or you can join my newsletter as well. I love to send out very long monthly newsletters. I'm much more of a long form content gal. So an Instagram post sometimes doesn't cut it. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, that ends our first part of our journey together. And I'm going to continue to guide you into the next part, which is 3 social media questions from listeners and energy students. So let's begin. So, number 1, I am interested in your self-study program. Can you share about your Elevation self-study program?
Yes, absolutely. So that is, yeah, the signature mindset manifestation and confidence course, which is a 8-week journey taking you through a whole holistic approach from gaining clarity on your bigger vision, what you want your life to look like. That's going to be really truly in alignment for you. Then we work to uncover those limiting blocks and any resistance that's holding you back so you can step forward, take action towards your goals, feeling like the most confident, empowered version of yourself. And we work as well with the identity shifting, the self concept work. So you can really step into that version of you who is manifesting out their wildest vision, their vision board as well.
Oh, sounds very, detailed and perfect for
Mm.
someone who really wants to take it to that next level. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, question number 2. I saw that you offer a 3 to 6 month coaching container. Can you tell me about Radiant You, your 3 or 6 month coaching container?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is my high touch one-to-one coaching offer. That is for the ambitious female leader who is really ready to step into that next level of her life and her career and her business as well, looking to unblock any limiting beliefs, do the inner healing work as well, do the shadow work, and really is so tired of playing small. And she's just truly ready to get to that next level and achieve her biggest goals as well. So that's a whole journey. Again, I work a lot on a holistic level. So work with the mindset, the energetics, and the embodiment portion. So we take this through this what I call my inner radiance framework. So it's a whole holistic approach to really helping you become your most embodied self.
Beautiful. And our third question is, what inspired you to create the podcast, Unleash Your Radiance?
Oh gosh, I love podcasts. I absolutely love podcasts. They have been so amazing on my own healing journey. It's such a great place to feel like you get to know someone, you connect with someone, you can have such inspiring conversations. And I also went to school for journalism, actually. So I love to talk. I'm a Gemini. I love to talk, big on communication. And yeah, I just wanted to have a platform where, people could get so much more in depth because like I said, I feel like you can't have everything you want to say in an Instagram post or a quick email, but podcasts are just such a way for you to really get to know and really provide that value and support. Like one podcast episode could completely change someone's life. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Where can we find your podcast, and where again can we find your classes and trainings?
Yeah, so that'll be on my website at lorinachristine.com. I've got all the different workshops on there. There's one around abundance, clarity, the mindset manifestation program as well. And then, yeah, my podcast is available on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to podcasts. And it's just at Unleash Your Radiance.
Beautiful. Now, that is our last question. And as we've been talking, is there something that you might have forgotten to share, something you like to add, or something you really feel called to share with our listeners? You can take this time now.
Amazing. Yeah, I've got actually a free abundance affirmations track that I'll leave a link for your listeners to download. It's incredible. It really helps to rewire your mindset for more abundance, move away from that lack or scarcity, because I'm really all about, yeah, listeners having more abundance in their lives as well. And my other piece of advice would just be just keep going, like really leaning into trust and surrender, because manifestation is not all it's really a way of being and living. It's part of, like I said, the way of living. And yeah, there are times, the duality of life, and really leaning into trust and abundance on the hard days as well, and just enjoying the process. Get creative, dream big. I know that rejection is redirection. That's one of my absolute favorite sayings. It's this or something
Wonderful.
better.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So this just gives our listeners just a little bit of variety here on the healing path, knowing that, beyond Reiki, this is also available too. So Lorena, helps these clients to unblock their limiting beliefs and help those relationships and build inner focus and having your alignment with your purpose, passion, and joy, and bringing this abundance in all areas, without that burnout. So what a wonderful offering that you're giving to so many people to help them elevate, especially, particular women and entrepreneurs with that. So thank you so much for all of your work.
Thank you so much for having me, Tracy. It was an absolute pleasure to be a guest on your podcast and chatting with you. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you so much. It was truly a joy. All right, my wonderful listeners, if you have a question, send it in. Maybe it can be featured on the show here. Reach out at www.readysetreiki.com or social media. Also, check out Feather Sister Wellness. It offers a variety of yoga classes, yoga trainings, Reiki, and Reiki trainings. I'm Tracy C. Wright, and this has been Ready, Set, Reiki.